Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
Welcome aboard. It's Elevating with Marcia, Sports Byline broadcast, Sirius XM 211, as we talk the world of sports and a whole lot more here. Lots to get to today. Wow. A woman who loves football. Your every man's dream.
Oh, yeah. I can't even tape it. I have to watch it in real time. Yeah, terrible. I do tape the Super Bowl. Love to watch that, especially when the Patriots were playing that Atlanta game. I think I watched that about 10 times. But, yeah, very excited. First week of the NFL, and so far so good. Got a lot to talk about with that. And, of course, we're going to – last week we did take a look back 20 years. Today we're going to take a look forward 20 years and see what that looks like. We're going to pepper in some sports. A lot to get to. Yeah,
and, of course, Brady taking some hits from the fan base and Coach Arians, and then you've got the Patriots Sunday night, and then a big Monday night game, and week one, it's the overreaction. Either people are overzealous with their team or they get too depressed after 1 week. Isn't that amazing how people overreact? Overreaction week number one, NFL, every single year.
I saw the funniest obituary, which I'll talk in the first segment, about someone who said they cannot watch the game unless it's an absolute blowout. But it is funny. Fans react so differently. And, it's like they either love you or they hate you. And, yeah, nobody's safe on the internet. They're quick to take you down if you don't perform the way they want you to perform, for sure.
Yeah, lots to get to. And again, we're going to look ahead. I thought last week was phenomenal. A lot of reaction to that. Looking back at the last 20 years, now looking ahead maybe in 5-year chunks of what the future might be like. And so much going on. U.S. Open in golf at Winged Foot Mamaroneck. It will not be a par or better. It'll be above par to win it. And so it's just some really neat stuff. Real quick, though, before we go to break, how do people get a hold of you real quick?
Sure. Hello at elevatedmediaesq.com. We archive all the shows on the main page of the website. You want to reach me, hello at elevatedmediaesq.com, and love to hear from you.
All right, do that. You can take a shot at her football picks. Later on, to close out the hour, she'll give you the 2-minute drill where she'll give you some thoughts on, key games coming up on pro and college football and some other stuff as well. So it's Elevating with Marcia. It's Sports Byline broadcast. It's Sirius XM 211. That's the Dan Patrick Show channel. Mario, our producer, doing a phenomenal job as well. We come back to kick it off another week of Elevating with Marcia, Sports Byline Broadcast Network.
The world is changing so fast these days. You ever feel like you're not keeping up personally or professionally? Enter Elevated Media ESQ. Elevating with Marcia allows you to advertise in a form you never thought possible. They feature a business in an interview-type fashion, which is comfortable, amazingly affordable, and flexible. Not only that, the feature on your business is then formulated into a podcast for convenient, on-demand listening 24/7, 365. These times we're living in demand a different, clearer, more concise message. Does this sound like how you feel about how you market and advertise your business? Reach out today, no matter how big or small your business is. Elevating with Marcia is highly effective, and you'll be so grateful for the superfans she'll create. Email hello at elevatedmediaesq.com. Elevated Media ESQ, changing your business for the better.
Texting Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
9, 10.
Honey, you have really been making the most of being at home. I haven't seen you work out this hard in years.
I feel great. And honestly, taking Nugenix makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster that has the TV ads with Frank the Big Hurt Thomas, right?
Yeah, this is an amazing product. The patented ingredient is Tesafin, which helps boost free testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass. Nugenix is a great way to boost lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance.
Well, you are looking good and have been quite the tiger lately, too. Nugenix is definitely working for you and for me.
Yeah, and all I had to do was send them a text to get my complimentary bottle. Text POWER to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Nugenix samples are not available in stores, so text POWER to 42424 right now. Text POWER to 42424. That's POWER to 42424.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, don't worry. There's a bright side. The experts at brightsidetaxrelief.com will protect you from having your wages garnished, money deducted from your bank account, and your home or business seized. BrightsideTaxRelief.com will fight the IRS and negotiate to reduce or eliminate the amount you owe. Visit BrightsideTaxRelief.com or call 800-730-4313. That's 800-730-4313. The consultation is free. Go to BrightsideTaxRelief.com now.
Between jobs, retiring, or just need health or life insurance, please visit myhealth-quotes.com or call 833-687-5261. Before you try to get a quote online, call us. We will provide you with the information most sites will not. We teach you exactly what life or health insurance plan you qualify for, how to use your plan, and maximize your benefits. We provide you with the information to make a knowledge-based decision to ensure selecting the right plan. myhealth-quotes.com to schedule an appointment. Well, here we go for another week. It's Elevating with Marcia here at the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, Sirius XM 211. A lot of football to talk about, but a lot of other things as well. What were we going to say about an obituary?
Yeah. A guy I went to high school with passed away, and one of the things they commented in his obituary was how he would pace the floors during all of the games, and it had to be an absolute blowout or he just didn't trust it. I remember when the Red Sox finally won the World Series, I remember people were saying, we could be ahead, 50 points and it still wouldn't be enough. And after that, Bill Buckner, God rest his soul, debacle with the Mets, I still haven't gotten over that. But yeah, it's really funny. A lot of people do put their sports, their sports stuff in their obituaries, which I always find funny. I love that. Kind of love that. I think I'll put it in mine.
That's a good story, though. And I think I know who you're talking about. That's a great story. All right, lots to get to. We'll do some football stuff later on. The golf is good. It's a great time of year. We head towards October, and boy, September, you blink and the month's going by. But football's underway. It bears mentioning too, real quick. Big Ten and Pac-12 looks like they're going to play football.
Yeah, very exciting news this week. Yeah, I was very happy to hear that. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But I think things are calming down a little bit. Yep. I do feel it. I do feel a thaw where it comes to COVID. The numbers are, coming down, and I think things are looking good. I really do.
Yeah, I think it's great that those teams are playing, and I got to give Trump credit. He did say they need the Big Ten and the Pac-12 need to play football.
Yeah, I'm very happy about it. I think sports is one thing that definitely brings the country together. We have our rivalries and all of that, but it's wonderful, and it's kind of interesting. We're forced to stay home now in most cases, and even if you can go out, people have definitely modified their schedules and how they approach things. People are doing things differently. Sports is one of those things that it's just, you can watch it from home. You can, DVR it, or I probably just dated myself with that comment, but
I say DVR. We're about to talk about what's going to happen in the next 20 years, and you drop a DVR bomb.
The funny thing is, I don't tape anything. I do not tape shows. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm going to get a lot of crap for that, I'm sure. But that said, things are definitely different. But yeah, we talked in our show last week, we talked about, 9/11 and where we've come from. And it's shocking how many things have changed. Like, I remember the big thing coming out was going to be QR codes. Mm-hmm. And they are making their second debut with COVID now. You go to restaurants and you take a picture of their QR code with your phone and it pulls up their paperless menu. So restaurants are not, handing you a menu when you walk in anymore, or placing it on the table. You have to look it up. QR codes were one of those things that I just thought for sure were just a bomb. I couldn't understand. I have a funny story about it. So I go down to a local store, a big box store, to buy some bird seed of all things. And I bought this big bag, and I remember, checking out, and the guy waiting on me was saying, "Oh, you got your phone. I'm going to have you take a picture of the QR code, and you can learn everything you want to learn about birdseed." And I was like, really? I mean, yeah, right. Yeah. It was kind of funny. And I remember at that point thinking, QR codes are definitely going to be us. I just never saw the allure. They tried to make a couple of generational things with it. They tried different things with it, where you could take a QR code and look at an ad, and you could then watch a video within the ad. And I'm thinking, if you don't get the message off on the first try, you're probably we are so accustomed to everything taking just 5 or 6 seconds. I need to download a QR code to read about birdseed. It was just, I really thought that they would be a bust, but they have made a comeback, and I'm definitely eating my words on that.
Yeah, and I wanted to, it's funny you say that, because I went to the store the other day, and they have chip readers, which I thought was a big innovation. Chip readers are already obsolete in some cases. Yeah. They waved my card over a little portal or a little box, and they said, "You're good to go." I said, "What?"
Well, yeah, you have your Apple Pay too. You can actually just use your Apple Pay, where you don't even have to bring the card. But yeah, you can tap your credit card right onto the machine if it's Wi-Fi enabled, and boom, your purchase is done. And yeah, it's crazy. Everything, I feel moving forward is, like I said, people need that. We've got about a 6-second attention span to accomplish the goal. If you can't accomplish it in that time, your technology, in my opinion, will be obsolete. So it's definitely trending that way. I was shocked, because I was just not a fan of QR codes. Yeah. When I'm really talking back almost 12 years that the QR codes made their debut, roughly around 12 years ago. And I thought, this is just the weirdest thing. And they just never, gelled. And sure enough, restaurants are now using the QR code to have the paperless menus, which I think is a great idea. So, yeah.
Well, I love talking technology. So what do you think? Do you remember the first cell phones when they came out? Now you've got your Apples and your Androids and stuff like that. I don't want to just pigeonhole one category. I don't think that's fair to you. But where are we going with technology in terms of communication? Because, at Elevated Media, that's what you specialize in.
Yeah. Okay. So, for example, I remember about 12, 13 years ago going in to, meet with a client, and I'd bring my laptop in and, get it out. And then, of course, it was like I started to notice, like, don't bring a laptop. You got to bring an iPad. Mm-hmm. I think iPads are kind of going away too. I just don't think that they're going to have the weight that they had maybe 10 years ago. The tablets, it was kind of cool. You didn't have to have a complete laptop. Phones are it. Everyone, I can pretty much do everything I need to do off my phone. I find myself using my laptop less and less. So I think, much like I've said on previous shows, I also think websites are going to go away. I think in the next 4 to 5 years, most, web-based communications will be done through an app and not through a website, which is great for the business owner. Business owners have a really hard time keeping their websites updated. Most of them are not programmers. Most of them do not, really understand how to, you can go into some of the, like the GoDaddies, and you can make a quick website. It's relatively easy to do, but business owners, especially ones 50 and over, they don't want to be bothered with it. So I think apps are going to be the way that people are going to communicate via the web.
Well, your very show, Elevating with Marcia, which we're talking right now. Some people are listening on Sirius XM. Some are listening through, Spotify just picked it up. So now it's Spotify, American Forces Radio Network, sportsbyline.com. But there is now CRN, Cable Radio Network out of Southern California, is carrying the show right now. The fact of the matter is, about 6 of your distribution points are via apps now.
Absolutely.
So I think you're really right about that.
Yeah, I think everything goes down to convenience, and the more steps that you can eliminate out of the process of where you need to be, is really the key, which is why, when we do video marketing for clients, they get focused on the video, which I totally get that because that's what they're paying for. Mm-hmm. But what I've always tried to explain over the years that the videos are just the vehicle to attract that client, customer, or patient to your website. And it's not to dazzle them and entertain them, although, there are videos that do that as well. It's really, you have to look at everything as what is the intent behind it. Right. Websites, you go to a website and you're going through page after page, people go on and they're on for a couple of minutes and then boom, they're gone. If you don't provide them with the instantaneous information that they're actually looking for, they'll move on. I've done it 4 times today. It's just people want the information and they want it fast, which I think is a great thing. It does have some downsides to it, I think. I think people are becoming very impatient with things. I mean, how many times has a web page loaded really, really slow? I'm on to the next one. I don't have the patience for it.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Okay, well, I'm going to throw a number out at you, and it's 32. And we're going to talk about the number 32 on the other side, and you'll see why. At 32 or 40, I'll throw out 2 numbers. So we look forward to that. How do they get a hold of you again? This is fascinating, too. And what's the iPhone going to look like down the road? What's technology going to look like? What is shopping going to look like? What's Amazon going to look like? What's radio going to look like? AM, FM. I mean, what's it going to look like?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like everything changes very, very quickly. And we're going to get into that in the next segment. But yeah, if you want to reach me, hello at elevatedmediaesq.com. I'd love to hear from you. If you have a topic for a show you'd like me to address, I'd love to hear from you. And I'll tackle it for you for sure. So yeah, reach out, hello at elevatedmediaesq.com. Love to hear from you.
All right. Her name is Marcia Hawkins, and it's Elevating with Marcia. And again, hello at Elevated Media ESQ. All right. I do want to say this. In terms of the U.S. Open, it's NBC Wire to Wire and Golf Channel this weekend. Also, I'll give NBC a little plug. They've a new streaming service, Peacock. And it's very, very popular. And it's free all weekend long. And it's free going forward. So you can catch up on the U.S. Open that way at Mamaroneck, New York, and Winged Foot. All right. It's Elevating with Marcia. Don't forget, Elevated Media, full service boutique agency. And if your company is looking for an app, or if you're looking for a website development, if you would like a podcast, guess what? Elevated Media and Marcia Hawkins will take care of you. Hello at elevatedmediaesq.com. We come back. Another segment straight ahead. Elevating with Marcia, Sports Byline broadcast, Sirius XM 211. It's the Dan Patrick Show channel. We'll come right back.
Have you written a book? You can become a published author with Dorrance Publishing, the nation's oldest publishing services company. Countless authors have trusted Dorrance for nearly 100 years to bring their book to the market. Our professional team will edit your text, design your book pages, and create an appealing, eye-catching custom cover. Plus, our authors benefit from a custom book promotion marketing campaign that makes your book available where people buy books, like Amazon and brick-and-mortar bookstores. So make this free call right now to claim your free author's guide to publishing. Don't wait another day. Take one step closer to realizing your dream of becoming a published author and seeing your name in print. You've already written a book, so the next thing to do is make this free call right now to Dorrance Publishing and get your free guide to publishing. Call right now.
800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. That's 800-485-6003.
I'm going to tell you how you can get real health care for as little as $6 a day. Yes, now you can get affordable health care for you and your family immediately and save as much as 50% off your current monthly health care payments. Our plans are perfect for people that are self-employed, can't afford health benefits where they work, or just want to pay less for their current health care. And coverage is guaranteed regardless of your medical condition. We even offer some of the new Christian faith-based health benefits. Save up to 50% on your family's health care. Make a free quick call now. There are no contracts, and we give you a 10-day money-back trial period. Call Provision Enrollment right now for your risk-free, guaranteed health insurance quote starting at $6 a day.
800-472-5145. 800-472-5145. That's 800-472-5145.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down, 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
All right, welcome back. Elevating with Marcia. Sports Byline broadcast, Sirius XM 211, Stitcher, American Forces Radio Network, sportsbyline.com. Hello to all the people out there. All right, so lots to get to. I threw out two numbers. I'll throw out the number 40. Seriously, 20 years from right now, we're in 2040. I don't want to say how old I'll be then. What is the phone going to be like? What is shopping going to be like? Is there going to even be currency, or will it all be electronic fund transfers? I mean, are we going to look at the dollar bill or $100 bill someday and go, remember that?
Well, yeah, my husband and I were just talking about that the other day, how money, when somebody transfers you money for payment, it's not even money. It's just a digital transaction. It's kind of strange, yeah. It's a very odd thing. I know something was circulating on social media the other day with regards to Amazon and how they have the drone deliveries that they're getting ready to roll out. Right. And they showed this big, huge Amazon drone with multiple drones that were dropping out of the bottom, like a Goodyear blimp, but it was an Amazon. It was just, it kind of blows your mind a little bit how I just can't imagine a drone coming down to my porch and dropping off a package, and yet I totally can see it. Yeah. But it's strange. It's very, very strange. I look at the older generation, which I'm starting to become part of that, but I look at part of the older generation, and they just can't even comprehend. Like my dad lives in Florida, and I got him an iPhone, and I've been FaceTiming with him, and he somehow jammed the phone up, and now it's not working, so I've got to hire someone to go over there and fix it for him. But he was just blown away by the technology that I could physically look at him and FaceTime and talk with him. So it's just crazy when you think about, I mean, even FaceTime, FaceTime really kind of came on in the last couple of years. I mean, we've been using it a little while, but I mean, even 13, 14 years ago, we really weren't FaceTiming. I mean, I have a friend who still has a flip phone, believe it or not. And he's like, hey, it works perfectly fine. And I get that. I totally get that. But did you ever imagine when cellular phones came out that they would become your device, your go-to device, your computer? Yeah.
Well, you made a pretty riveting statement a month ago, and I thought, I'm not going to go there with her. But you said there's going to be a dramatic change to commercial real estate, and you predicted major cities. I recall you saying New York, Philly, Dallas, Miami, Chicago, whatever. Maybe those weren't the specific cities, but boy, were you right. 2 days later, the Wall Street Journal came out with it, and it's alarming. The Simon Group is one of the biggest mall, conglomerates in the country, and they are just.
And Jeff Bezos, I believe, is scooping them up.
So where's that going to go, though? I mean, that changes everything in terms of retail. Well, everything.
Well, if you look at the per square foot that they consume in terms of land, the funny thing about land, I've always said if you're looking to invest in real estate and you really can't, the housing prices are so high, buy yourself a piece of land and sit on it. Land is the one commodity we cannot make more of. Right. So it would be interesting to see what they do with that real estate because it does consume so much physical space. Right. What I see happening is a lot of, whether or not Jeff Bezos takes over the entire shopping mall, inventory, I don't know. But if he does, great. It's not wasted space. They were built. He'll modify them to, become Amazon customer service centers or distribution, I think is what he's going to do with them. But what I notice right now, what they're doing is they're all converting over to kind of like a digital experience. They've got the digital bowling, roller rinks. They've got, indoor kart, what are those? Go-kart racing.
Go-kart, yeah.
They're doing a lot of, physical activities, and, a lot of Planet Fitnesses are going into some of the malls. So it's a great idea. I mean, that's kind of the one thing that you really can't, that you really cannot, get through Amazon is physical exercise. So it does make sense, but we'll have to see what happens. But commercial real estate, okay, so we're in COVID and people are forced to work from home. I'm wondering if they're going to bring these people back. Business travel. I see that tanking.
You talked about Marcia, but you talked about fashion. Thursday's Boston Globe this past week had a story saying clothing stores, business attire is done. They said it's done. It's done. I mean, it used to be, but it used to be, casual Friday. There's no such thing anymore. It's casual every day.
No, and actually, I remember like in the last maybe 5 years going into business meetings, I remember one guy said to me, please dress down. We are very casual here. It will actually put the other board members on edge if you come in all dressed up. And I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah. But when I got over there, they ended up having a cookout. They used to have a cookout every Friday for their employees, and they invited me to stay. And I really grasped just how relaxed the business atmosphere had become, which I think that was great. I think now with COVID and people working from home, some people struggle with that. Some people really struggle with working at home, and I totally get that. I'm very, very disciplined. I have no challenges with that at all, but there are people that do struggle with that. That said, there are a lot of people that have already shifted to casual business attire. Now you're working from home. Are you even getting dressed? Because you don't have to go anywhere. Right. I think in the summer months, maybe so. During the winter, if you've got a snowstorm rolling in or you've got inclement weather anywhere, and you're not going to go out, but that is going to have that trickle down effect into retail sales. If people are not buying business attire, they don't really need to get dressed up. And they're not in there Zooming. I mean, I know you can on Zoom, you can get dressed up from the waist up and you look great, and you could have pajamas on, the rest of the way, and it really doesn't matter. So yeah, it does have a trickle effect. So I think retail is going to morph into something like we can't even imagine over the next 5 years.
Well, how about attending sporting events? Okay, down in Orlando in the bubble, there's 2 arenas, and they're playing games, and there's virtual fans. They have virtual fans. They're saying now with SoFi Stadium, where Sunday night you'll see the Chiefs and Chargers play this weekend or Sunday during the day, that you're going to be able to go online, buy your seat location, and your view from that seat will be virtual. You will never go to the stadium again.
Yeah, and I get that, but I don't. It would not have the same effect. Like I know. Like when we went to the Jets and the Patriots playoff game, and it escapes me what year it was, but I know my son was in Iraq, and I remember the flyover going over and how emotional I got because my son was over in Iraq, and I remember just having just so much emotion about that. The emotion when I was at the Super Bowl when Tom Brady and the Patriots won their first Super Bowl, it was incredibly emotional, and I don't think
you can't replace that.
No, you really can't. Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I think there's some physical experiences, what I talked about, that you cannot get through Amazon, and that they're recreating very physical entertainment at the shopping malls. I don't know if that's going to work. Short term, maybe it's a way of getting around the COVID. I'm not in agreement with that. I think there's nothing like a father and a son or a family going to a Red Sox game or a Dodgers game or going to a hockey game. You can't replace that bonding time. You can't do that virtually.
Yeah, and I see that. It's at the same time I see fans saying, you know what, if I never have to deal with traffic jams again, if I never have to deal with unruly drunks tailgating. I mean,
how do we virtually tailgate? Maybe that's a new business for me. I can set up virtual tailgating. I did get most spirited in high school and most talkative, so I probably could get away with that.
Amazing, you got a radio show on Sirius XM too. Elevating with Marcia, the Sunrise Studios here in beautiful Massachusetts is where we're broadcasting from. And
what was the 32? You teased me with the 32.
Well, I was wrong because I was going to ask you what the iPhone was going to look like in 20. I'll go with it. What will the iPhone look like in 2032, 12 years from now? What will it look like in 2040? Not necessarily an iPhone, but an Android, a cellular phone. What is it going to look like in the next 12 to 20 years?
Well, from a business standpoint, they're always going to be rolling out a new model. They have to.
Well, every year. So it'll be, I know what it was. It'll be iPhone 32. It'll be iPhone 32.
Yeah, well, probably. Yeah. And they constantly do it because the minute a new phone comes out, they want to get the latest and greatest. But isn't it funny how they went from the flip phone and then they went to those pretty large, the larger smartphones, and then they microed them down, and they thought those were going to be so cool. You could kind of slip it in your back pocket. And then what did they do a couple of years later? They went back to the larger version because people, especially with me, my eyesight's not that great up close, and people were having, struggles with it. So you'll constantly see that morphing of what the latest trend is, but you can always count on the phones to be the latest and greatest of whatever the demand is of that time. But a lot of people had trouble with the smaller phones.
Well, I don't want to go too cuckoo on you, and I want to look at our time. So I'm going to save it for the next segment, but I got a really, really interesting question. If I don't say so myself, and I am dying to hear your answer. So I'm kind of teasing it, but I really do have a question, and I think you will answer it, but you'll need some time to answer it and think about it. That's coming up in a moment. How do they get a hold of you? By the way, Sunrise Studios, what a place to emanate this radio program. The beautiful western foothills of the Berkshires, the Sunrise Studios. How do they get a hold of you?
And they're called Sunrise Studios because we have the most beautiful sunrises ever. Just absolutely beautiful. The sun coming up in the east. But yeah, if you need to get a hold of me, hello@elevatedmediaesq.com. Love to hear from you. We are one-stop shopping for all your marketing and digital needs. We do podcasting, video marketing, and a whole lot more.
All right. The best way to get a hold of her again, hello@elevatedmediaesq.com. Her name is Marcia Hawkins, and we're coming right back. And Elevated Media is an outstanding advertising agency and promotional company. They'll take good care of you. Elevating with Marcia rolls on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, Sirius XM 211, the Dan Patrick Show channel. We come right back. Don't go away.
If you're not using podcasting for your business, you will. Not having a podcast is like not having a website. Hi, this is Marcia Hawkins of Elevating with Marcia on Sirius XM Channel 211, the Dan Patrick Channel. You can get your business on my podcast. It's a great way to create superfans for your business with a controlled message in a news format. What better way to get in front of your intended audience, your clients, your customers, or patients? Please contact me at hello@elevatedmediaesq.com about getting your business on my show, Elevating with Marcia. We also can create a personalized podcast that you can use on your website or social media channels. Contact me at hello@elevatedmediaesq.com and join me on Elevating with Marcia on Sirius XM Channel 211, the Dan Patrick Channel.
If you knew there was an energy shot that also helped you lose weight, would you try it? Real Ketones Keto Energy Shots give you sustained energy without the sugar jitters or crash. That's why Keto Energy Shots constantly get 5-star reviews. The secret is our patented all-natural ingredient DBHB. This powerful ingredient revs up your metabolism and turns your body into a fat-burning machine in only minutes. Feel energized while shredding unwanted pounds. Pull into a CVS now and look for Keto Energy Shots in the weight loss aisle, or go to realketones.com.
With the real estate market evolving, realtors stand ready to help. Realtors are an expert voice of reason in changing times, and they're working in new ways to guide you through virtual showings and safe closings, to be your ally in the fight for mortgage relief, to understand a neighborhood the way no algorithm can. That's the role of a realtor. This is a real estate season like no other, and realtors are ready. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Now that we're getting back on the road, the stops we make seem more special than before. Stop to see a friend. Stop at your favorite store. Stop at the places you missed most. And to keep you going between those stops, there's Shell. Stopping to fill up with our best fuel ever. Save with the Fuel Rewards program. and to get snacks and essentials that can save you even more at the pump. That's just a few of the ways Shell helps you make the most of the stop you need to make. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
Between jobs, retiring, or just need health or life insurance, please visit myhealth-quotes.com or call 833-687-5261. Before you try to get a quote online, call us. We will provide you with the information most sites will not. We teach you exactly what life or health insurance plan you qualify for, how to use your plan, and maximize your benefits. We provide you with the information to make a knowledge-based decision to ensure selecting the right plan. myhealth-quotes.com to schedule an appointment. Welcome back. Elevating with Marcia, Sports Byline broadcast, Sirius XM. What a beautiful weekend, huh?
Oh, it was absolutely gorgeous here in the Northeast. It always is in the fall, one of my favorite seasons. And football. Fall and football, synonymous. Love it.
All right. At what point, think about this now before you answer. At what point do you think the cellular phone will become part of your body? In other words, it will be installed into your physical being.
I hope not. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. Kind of strange. I hope not. Well,
there's pacemakers to keep a heart going. It would be a chip. I mean, it would be very, very unobtrusive, and it would be powerful.
Well, I mean, you got your watches. That's kind of like the precursor to it, I guess. But I'm not a fan of it. No. In fact, many people that know me, I always have my phone with me, but I'm not one that is constantly on my phone. I use it, for work. I use it as needed, but I am not one of these people where I go out to dinner. I have to have my phone on the table where I'm constantly looking at it. I can detach from it really quick. That, to me, that's a little weird, but do I see the technology going that way? Yeah, I could see it, but I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, what I've read in some technology parts of the Wall Street Journal is it would be basically a chip within your ear or a little device within your ear, like a hearing aid.
1984. The book 1984 really has come to fruition for us. So, I think about that all the time. I read 1984 when I was in junior high, and I just could not believe how much of that book is, it's playing out.
Yeah. All right. So we're kind of projecting ahead. So we kind of went with the phone, and we'll see what happens there. What else do you look forward to? I think automobiles. We talked about currency, medical advancements in the next 20 years.
Yeah. It's kind of funny you mentioned cars. I mean, it was just a few years ago where they had the, self-driven cars, and you don't see a lot of talk about that anymore. I wonder why. I know there was a couple of crashes. But I do not see that in the news lately at all. So I'm wondering. For me, I don't know if I could get in a car and just sit there. And I'm a really bad backseat driver as it is. I couldn't imagine. I mean, I couldn't do it. I would struggle with it. I suppose over time I would adapt to it. But I think it's one of those technologies that I think definitely needs to be reworked because there were problems with it. Plus, not to mention, all the newer cars are equipped with onboard computers. Part of the thing they're talking about right now with cybersecurity is people being able to take over your onboard computer and cause crashes. So I don't know. I think it would have to be foolproof technology, and I don't know if that quite exists right now.
What about medical advancements? I mean, people are living longer, but there's, obviously things like that. And I know you're not a doctor, but you spend a lot of time in holistic and remedies. I mean, giving me some great advice in terms of low dose naltrexone. I'm like, I had a neuropathy thing, and man, it's like magically disappeared. So, but it's the advancements, and to even fast forward 10, 15 years ahead, amazing what's going on.
I think the best medical advice I ever got was prevention. And I think that's kind of gone out the window. We've talked about this on many shows, how people will go to the doctors, want a happy pill, pain pill, or a why me pill, rather than fixing the symptoms. So if you have high blood pressure and you are 50 pounds overweight and you smoke cigarettes and you're not taking care of yourself, I'm not a physician, but if I was a physician, that would be my first line of defense would be, quit the cancer sticks and, get the weight off and let's get this blood pressure down. But unfortunately, we are geared, with big pharma, we are geared towards that, instant gratification. Oh, I've got high blood pressure. Give me a prescription. Yep. I'll take it. And life goes on. No pun intended with that, actually. I think that medical advances will definitely be there, but I'm kind of actually backwards with that. I feel it's more important for people to take charge of their health rather than hoping that some type of technology down the road. Now, where I separate from that is with diseases like Parkinson's, Lou Gehrig's disease, muscular dystrophy, cancer, things that you simply, to no fault of your own. But as far as everything else goes, when, things that develop that are preventable, I have a friend who's a doctor and her and I talk all the time and, which is why I'm so fascinated with medicine. But she always says when people come in, and, I tell all of my patients the same thing over and over again. Most of the things that are going to happen to you in your life in terms of, medically speaking, a lot of them are preventable. Most of them are preventable. If you get lung cancer and you've smoked a pack of cigarettes every day, well, no surprise. Yep. And she's just always stunned by how many people just are not willing to take charge of that. So where I'm excited for technology is for on those diseases where, to no fault of your own, you've been diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease or Parkinson's or, some type of disease that the genesis is just, genetic, or it's just a mutation or something that goes awry, and lo and behold, you have this awful disease. So I'm excited to see what they're able to do. I think there was a wonderful story. In fact, I think you sent it to me out of Brown University. The two kids that are students that are working.
Yes, Brown University.
Yeah. And they're working on a cure for or a remedy for ALS. So if I were to want to get excited about anything in terms of the next 20 years, it would be medicine that will prevent or cure those types of diseases. As far as everything else goes, I really hope that the trend over the next 20 years, you see people that are people are eating better, people are working out, and they are taking things a little more seriously. People are going to osteopaths and holistic doctors. I hope that trend continues, and I actually hope it surpasses what the traditional protocol is right now.
So you think people are going to live better is what you're saying, or they will have an opportunity to live better?
I do. I don't say that I do. I hope that people do, because there are so many things that people can do to help themselves, and for whatever reason they don't. But I actually kind of give most people a pass with that, because that's not the way we've been conditioned. We've been conditioned that something's wrong, you go to the doctors and they give you a pill or something, a protocol for your symptoms. And now you're starting to see more and more holistic doctors, root cause doctors, if you will, osteopaths that say, wait a minute, why don't we get at the root of what's causing your symptoms and fix that instead of just giving you a prescription? So I'm hoping that over the next 20 years, that is the trend that dominates medicine.
All right, let's switch gears here, because this is a big one in the next 20 years. And there are people saying within the next 5 years, high school football across the country is being disbanded, teams, not enough players. They say football could run its course because of brain injuries and all the concussions and all that. So fast forward for the next 10, what will football like in the next 2 decades?
Yeah, I know we have a long-standing rivalry at the high school I went to, and they're actually doing away with the Thanksgiving Day game because there's just not enough people that want to play. Kind of interesting about that, when I talk to younger kids that are in high school, and we talk about how COVID's affected them, and they say, well, it really hasn't, because I don't really get together with my friends anyways. We just text.
Right.
They even if they are in the same room, they don't communicate, they text. So it's kind of a sad side effect of technology that we've, kind of gotten away from how to communicate with people. Text messages, emails, all of that can get so misconstrued in terms of what your intent was with what you said. How many times have you read an email or a text message and thought, what do they mean by that? And there was no ill intent on that. So in that same vein, though, I feel like that's kind of what's happened and why school sports are I just think we're just not engaging and communicating with people. And it's sad because I think sports can accomplish so much. It builds self-confidence. It teaches, being a member of a team. It gives you so much more than just actually physically playing. So I will be sad to see that happen, but unfortunately, I do see that happening more and more.
Yeah, and it's the most popular sport. I mean, baseball, in the 50s, it was boxing, baseball, horse racing, and football was way down. And now football is king.
I know. I remember the NFL, the first Super Bowl, I think they had to give tickets away.
$15.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine? Yeah, it's just strange. I just remember like everybody, when you got into school in high school and you had Booster Day and you had Thanksgiving and homecoming and all of that. And it just does not seem to have that. I think, unfortunately, I might get, bit for this, but I think, unfortunately, political correctness and a lot of that has come in and has infiltrated into sports. And I think that is part of it. And, I think it's unfortunate because I think sports really are one of those things that really can shape someone in their high school, junior high years. It'll be very, very sad. And then what does that mean for professional sports? If we're not harvesting, these Heisman winners out of high school into college, what is that going to look like? I don't know. It's kind of scary.
That's a great point. And that's what's being debated right now is, the feeder systems are potentially in deep, deep trouble. Fascinating. All right. Well, we don't have time to get into what's television going to look like, what's newspapers going to look like. Well, we've touched on that before, but
I think the only other thing I would add to technology, everything is going to go satellite. Everything is going to be, I think, wireless wires, all the wires around the country are going to go away. I think everything will be wireless sooner than later.
It's fascinating to think about. It really is. All right. Well, we have a 2-minute drill coming up, but I want to take a couple of extra minutes because you were pretty good last week in your picks. But you know what? That's 1 week. You're going to do it over the course. But I want to run a couple of games by you real quick. And I want to start with your buddy Brady because he looked horrible. And we only got a couple minutes here, and then we'll go to the 2-minute drill. But they're in a tight spot. Carolina's coming into Tampa. This is a must-win in week 2 for Tampa Bay already.
Yeah, the game reminded me eerily of our Super Bowl against Philadelphia where we lost. Tom Brady came out the first drive. He looked like the vintage Tom Brady that we all know. And then it was like, whoa, what happened?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, I love Tom Brady. I do. I do feel I have to wonder whether or not he is really questioning what he did. Cam Newton looked awesome. I'm impressed. I was not a big Cam Newton fan, and I'm sold. I am sold.
All right, let's go to our fans in the Motor City, Detroit. Matt Patricia on the road this week at Green Bay. He's in trouble. They blew a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter. He may be singing for his supper in the Motor City. What about Detroit and Matt Patricia?
Yeah, that game was heartbreaking. I really thought they were going to be able to pull it off. Drops the ball, would have been the game-winning touchdown, and boom. Yeah, I love Matt Patricia, former defensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. I do think, he's got to pull some numbers here before they give him his walking papers for sure.
All right. The other one I want to get into real quick here because we're running out of time is Green Bay. They put up 43 in week 1. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. You didn't think we actually talked about that off the air. You didn't think that Aaron Rodgers was going to have a good year. I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan. They looked great. Green Bay looks great. I think they're the ones to watch.
All right, we come back to 2-minute drill. She's going to give you her picks for week 2 of the NFL. We want to mention U.S. Open. Patrick Reed looks good. Tiger is struggling. So the weekend, NBC will have it. And then Notre Dame football as well. They'll move it to USA Network due to NBC's golf coverage. If you're looking for Notre Dame football, it'll be on USA Network Saturday, 2:30 against South Florida. We come back. Elevating with Marcia and her 2-minute drill. How do they get a hold of you real quick?
Hello at elevatedmediaesq.com. Stop by.
By the way, she doesn't charge for these winning NFL picks, too. These are all free for you people out there. All right, we come back. We'll wrap it up. 2-minute drill. Sports Byline broadcast, Sirius XM 211.
Do you have a story to share? Your story. Lifetime Private Autobiography Services can help. We will interview you by video or phone to get your memories in your words using your pictures. Our staff of talented writers will then recreate your story into a beautifully handcrafted book. You'll receive 10 individual copies for friends and family to enjoy for generations to come. Visit privateautobiography.com to schedule a free consultation. Mention this ad for a bonus audio recording from your personal interviews. To get started, visit privateautobiography.com or call 844-921-2802. That's 844-921-2802. Remember and be remembered with this gift of a lifetime.
At 28, I had struggled with opiate and meth addiction for 12 years. I did and said things that the sober me never would have done. One day I realized I was not invincible. I was not exempt. And that's when a friend told me about elite rehab placement. They gave me the tools I needed to get sober, and all it took was the one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. That's 800-403-5912.
Hello and welcome back to the Ronnie Deutsch Tax Program. On the line is Paul from California. Hi, Paul. What's your tax problem today?
Hi, Ronnie. Love your show. Listen, I've got a big problem. You see, my paycheck was garnished last week, and I'm only getting half the normal amount. To make matters worse, the IRS froze my bank account. Listen, I'm embarrassed and scared. I need some help.
Listen, Paul, you don't need to feel embarrassed. You just need some tax help. And the great news is the IRS has some unbelievable programs that can eliminate your tax debt so you don't have to worry about having your paycheck garnished or your bank levied. Doesn't that sound great?
It sure does, Ronnie.
Then do yourself a huge favor and get a free consultation right now and tell them the tax lady sent you.
855-715-5721. 855-715-5721. 855-715-5721. That's 855-715-5721.
All right, the most exciting part of any game, any show is the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Elevated Media ESQ. All right, let's go to them. I'm going to run them down real quick. Give me a pick on Tampa, Carolina.
I'm gonna go with my Tom Brady. Yeah, I think they'll be up by 7. They'll win by 7.
All right, where do you want to go with Pittsburgh? They looked impressive. They've got the Broncos.
They did. Yeah, they looked. I definitely think they're going to dominate. I will take Pittsburgh with 10.
All right, where do you go with Patriots Sunday night? Weather and atmospheric conditions notwithstanding, a lot of smoke. Will there be some fire in the belly of Belichick and the Patriots, who, by the way, lost his mom this week, too?
Yeah, that was sad. I'm going to go with Cam Newton. On the road, I know people are going to be like, are you kidding me? I think Cam, you talk about the burn in Belichick's belly. I think there's a burn in Newton's belly. I think he's got this one. I'm going to take Patriots up by 6.
Wow. All right. The Chargers are at home. Their first look at SoFi Stadium, $5 billion stadium. Here comes Patrick Mahomes, the defending world champion Chiefs, on the road in L.A. against the Chargers. Key game in the AFC West. What do you think?
I love Patrick Mahomes. He does make me nervous. I every time he throws the ball, he twists like a pretzel. Makes me so nervous. Yeah, but he's good. He's definitely good. I do worry about him, that the way he contorts his body. It just makes me nuts. But I'm going to take Kansas City 12.
All right. You got a big win. Wow, it's a double-digit win on the road. They're favored by 9-2. So, all right, there you go. That's all the time we got. Phenomenal work. For more of her picks, you got to tune in each and every week right here to Elevating with Marcia.
You're listening to the Sports Byline USA Broadcast Network.